I got pregnant at 16, became a mom at 16, and got married at 17. Before I was actually a teen mom, I used to really look down on teen moms. Everybody was collectively shocked. There was like shock and anger or shock and disappointment.
Having a kid at such a young age, we both had to kind of like step up.
People always assume that we're like the worst. Where are you going?
Usually I cook in the mornings. I cook breakfast and she does the dinner and lunch because I'm not here for lunch. I would not have ever thought in my life that I would be doing this so soon. Ever.
I have the collective IQ right now of a Cheeto because I haven't slept in like 3 days.
Cheetos are fast.
Hey, I got pregnant at 16. What are you looking at? It took me almost a month to tell him.
Two months.
We hadn't been like dating, whatever, for that long. I thought he was gonna leave, so I didn't want to tell him. You weren't mean about it at all.
I was excited.
Yeah, for some reason.
I was happy. Kailey is definitely the better cook because as you can see, I'm butchering this right now. All right, scramble to this.
All right, Avery. Avery is a 1.5 years old. Which one do you want? She is the sassiest toddler I have ever seen in my life.
And destructive.
Well, she's destructive, but she listens. Like, for a baby her age, she listens very well. Okay. There's not really an average day for us. Every day is sort of different. Sometimes when I take a step back and look, I'm like, how did I go from a high schooler that didn't have any idea what to do with their life to a suburban family acting like we're 25 when in reality we're both, well, you just turned 20, but barely still teenagers. Here. I guess that works too. Do you have anything you have to do today, or are we just sort of hanging out at home?
Yeah, I got a few errands to run.
Okay, well, I want to go to Target and I want to go to Costco because we need to get some more groceries, and I'm going to meet Emma later. Want to go to the park next? No. Everything's no. Can you say yes? Can you say yes? No? Before I was actually a teen mom, I used to really look down on teen moms. We lived in a very small town, and it was like Bible Belt, Christian, and anytime anybody would get pregnant, they would usually just like disappear. I was like, well, you did it to yourself, you know, that's what you get. Ready? I first found out I was pregnant when I was like 8 to 10 weeks pregnant. Good job! I was actually told I was infertile by a doctor, so I was like, there's not any chances of that happening anyways. I took a test as a joke with one of my friends, and it was positive. Everybody was collectively shocked. There was like shock and anger or shock and disappointment. It was always shocked along with everything. Yeah. It took until she was born for everybody to be like excited, or like right up until she was born. I was definitely most nervous about telling my dad, 100%. I didn't even tell my dad that I was dating anybody. Hey, what are you doing? There was a lot of screaming.
Hey, how you doing, darling? Are you helping mommy with her schoolwork?
I was so embarrassed and so scared the entire time I was pregnant. I just wore baggy, like oversized sweatshirts. I was young and I was terrified, but I knew that for me personally, I did not want to get an abortion.
I don't know how helpful she's been.
She's been very helpful, actually. I did the thing to create the life, so I'm going to take responsibility for it. Whenever I first found out I was pregnant, I actually went on YouTube to like watch other teen moms, and it sort of gave me a different take on like teen moms, and I sort of wanted to be that for other people and not condone it, not like encourage teen pregnancy, but show like the real side. You have a big head. Initially, I started YouTube and like filming and editing as like a small hobby on the side, and then I realized that like I actually enjoy it. I'll get comments from people that I used to know, and it's like, oh, well, I thought you were gonna do so much with your life, but I guess this is fine too. Where are you going? Until a few months ago, I had to get my parents' permission for everything.
Can't smoke, I can't drink. I think you have to be 25 to rent a car.
Yeah, I think it's 25. I was 17 when we got married.
I was 19.
So it wasn't actually legal in our state either. We had to go to a different state. We had to get married because of your job, and it was we either got married or you were gonna be in the dorms for however long, and we were gonna be stuck in Alabama. And we wanted to get married to each other, but we wanted to wait. And then it was like 3 days before he shipped off. They're like, you have to get married. Usually we don't get super bad reactions because a lot of people probably think that like we're like babysitters and stuff. Sometimes we'll get the occasional like double take. We used to get a lot of like snarky stuff, but I feel like I get worse looks whenever it's like just me. People think that's like, oh, okay, well she's just like a single teen mom that got knocked up in high school. Ford, come on, go give her a hug. Go tell her hi. Tell her hi. Hey. We met through a mutual friend. We're both very like holistic parents, and we're both very into like Instagram and like having a platform. Most of the older parents, regardless of like maturity, they don't want to hang out with teenagers.
I got married at 20. I had Ford at 22, and then I had her at 26. So I got judged just because I looked young, I guess. I feel like that's a stereotype, is like teen moms don't know what they're doing, right? And they like aren't as equipped to make those decisions and all that kind of stuff. And she goes out of her way to make sure she makes the absolute best choice for her daughter all the time.
A lot of people think that like we still live with our parents still pay for everything. We are completely like self-sustainable. Like we're completely financially stable. People always assume that we're like the worst. Our personalities have literally changed so much since becoming parents. So.
We look a lot older too.
Hi. I think the biggest thing that I've debunked about being a teen mom is that you can't graduate, you can't go to college, you can't have like any sort of future. And that's definitely not true because I mean, I graduated at 16, started college at 17, and I'm gonna graduate by 20.